All right, so once again, I'm live coming to you in, I guess they would say, living color. So they say the calendar flipped, so forth and the like, right? They say it's 2024. More clown show stuff, you know, more clown shows and more, I guess, no shows. So I don't think that with all the introduction, people are really starting to come to a boiling point. Now, it's what they got today? What they got? What happened? Let's see. Um, let's see. Uh-oh. Unexpected guess. But it's a very interesting year that's going to be happening. Let's put it like that. I was a little surprised. We got somebody coming on that's actually, for the first time in a while, coming on. Supposed to be Frank Nitty. I'm going to go change my avatar, something like that, or whatever the case may be. But I think Miss Lockhart wants to come on as well. But nevertheless, so we got a lot of things going on. So let's just start with it. I'm trying to cover a lot in a little bit of time. Yeah. A lot of things I got to do tomorrow. Let's see. Hey.
Yo.
What's up,
What
man?
up, what up, man? Just came back from the gym, you feel me?
Yo,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just watching the clown show as it unfolds. I think Miss Lockhart can come on here to break down a little bit of the clown show. Or maybe
Yeah,
not.
that'd be dope. That'd be dope if she come on, man.
I'm trying to find out who else coming on the clown show. Well, as you know, the Supreme Court building in Colorado got ran into the day. The guy came in there, opened fire and stuff like that. They say somebody shot through the window or something. I said, wait a minute now. I said, why they do that for? You know? say earlier they didn't have no motive. I haven't checked back to see. Also in California, Gavin Newsom signed a bill which allowed them to use toilet water as drinking water. Or is gonna sign it, better yet. Crazy stuff. You hear me?
You said toilet. Damn, Gavin Newsom is cold. Damn, but see, they already.
Yep, Dr. Lean was reporting on it earlier, actually.
They're trying to push that. They're trying to push that. You know what I'm saying? That a climate shit. We gotta save and conserve. Y'all motherfuckers is full of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty, bro. That's nasty. Okay. Miss Lockhart in the building.
Hey, everybody. How is everybody tonight?
I'm doing all right. Daggone. A little cold, but it's okay.
Oh, shoot. You got, what?
Yeah, I think everybody's got some freezing weather going on. You mean you're not saying that you have a cold. You're saying it's cold outside?
Yeah. It's like 30 degrees.
Damn.
Yeah, it's cold out here too. It's crazy.
Damn.
Hey, Frank, how you doing tonight?
All right, how about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. No complaints.
Man, she's been doing some awesome shows, Frank.
Well, I'll be peeping them. You know, them recalls ain't no joke.
Infamy.
No, not at all. You know what? Why I've decided to stay in that lane of just dealing with the stuff down here with the regular people, because the bigger stuff is just a distraction from these kinds of things, like the recall on the food, the water having the C19 in it, and all these different areas. You know, it's in so many areas, and it's 6 times the level that they thought it would be, and that was, per the CDC. So those are the kinds of things that I really find necessary right now to sort of focus on, only because I think it affects the everyday person. That bigger stuff, yeah, it affects us in the long run, but I do believe it's distractions. What do y'all think?
I agree with you on that.
Sounds right.
Well, but I gotta bring up, I gotta bring up this psyop though they pulled today. So they say somebody busted into the Colorado Supreme Court building. So
yeah, I saw that earlier today. Oh boy. And that's the kind of stuff that I just overlook now. I don't even, it's like I'll see it and I'll just go, oh, okay, thanks. But I know that I know what it's about. I know what it's about.
You know what? So do I. See, we all on the same frequency, man, because I do the same thing. Because you guys say like this, like I've been seeing on my news. They've been talking about all these species, all these different species popping up and all that. I'm like, see, that's how you know. See, this is what I'm talking about. Maybe one new species or something, but there's no way all these new species you finding all at one time. It's just this. I mean, I see what people say about a lot of the stuff on the internet is lies, and fake. I see what people talk about because a lot of it is.
Hey Frank, let me tell you something funny, man. I had to listen to this video because I said I know they're gonna do some signs, symbols, and numerology. That's why I said this guy had to be like a little psyop they ran. The number 3 came out in this video.
That's
at around 3 a.m. in the morning.
Nobody's there. What's the point? What does that person have to gain?
Come on, man.
You don't be thinking, man. It's like a lot of people are gonna hear that. See, a lot of our people too. I just noticed about what I noticed about people. We react first and get into our emotions and maybe if we ever gonna ask questions, we ask them later. If we were gonna ask questions,
Didn't I just tell you, Gavin Newsom looking at signing the bill if he had already signed it in California where they're gonna use toilet water for drinking water?
That dude.
Ain't that human?
But that's been in the works for the past 4 years.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
What's the point? So they're trying to talk about climate and conserving and all that, by doing that, huh?
It's really, you know what? I think that to me, when I look at that as a new religion, that whole thing, the whole thing, the topic that you just mentioned. I don't want to get anything, messed up around here. But I think that's a brand new religion because they're trying to get everybody to flow with that. And in the interim, it makes absolutely no good or logical sense. None of it. It doesn't make any logical sense. It's all Mad Max. Every inch of it is the destination has to be Mad Max. It just has to be. I mean, I'm just waiting to see Tina Turner pop out. You know, 2 men enter, 1 man leave.
Well, let me I'm waiting on Shaq. I don't know who he is, but let me go ahead and get into the Clown Chronicles. If you see
Not the Clown Chronicles.
Oh yeah, hey look, it's 2020, it's 2024. This thing about to be an all time. You know what? I knew something was going on the other day when the guy came over here. He said, "Man, BJ," he said, "Turn to the game, whatever." And we turned to the game. A commercial came on with Megan Thee Stallion in Planet Fitness, in a Planet Fitness commercial.
Yeah, with the purple legging unitard thing on.
Yeah. And where are my legs?
Does she even work out? That's what I want to. You know, it's like it's just. I mean, what is so? Are they trying to get like? Are they trying to get black women to go like start working out more? What are they trying to say? You know.
I think they're just, capitalizing on the fact that a lot of people every year decide, oh, hey, look, I think it's time for me to, get on the, health and fitness thing, and they're just trying to make their money. That's all.
And most of them stop working out around February, March. They stop working out. They stop going.
Well, let's get into the Clown Chronicles show. Here it is. This is the first part. This is big. This is the big doozy right here. This is funny to me.
A suspect in custody after a breach. That's what they're calling it, a breach at the state Supreme Court building.
The details of this are just wild, but we know police are blocking off a massive part of downtown overnight. Let's get straight out to Fox 31's Carly Moore. Good morning, Carly. What are you seeing out there here this morning? Looks like there's still tape up there behind you.
There is, Kirk, Lisa, good morning. And that breach is because they say someone shot out a window here at the Colorado Supreme Court building, but they say it all started with a car crash. You can see that red Tesla there. That has been here as part of the scene for several hours now. Another white sedan that was likely involved in this crash as well, that has been towed away. But apparently one person pointed a gun at the other driver. Then that same suspect shot out a window here at the Colorado Judicial Center. The suspect went inside the building, then came in contact with an unarmed security guard from the Colorado State Patrol Capitol Security Unit. The individual held the security guard at gunpoint, demanded access to other parts of the building. They eventually got the security guard's keys, went in several other floors. They're not sure exactly how many other floors that person accessed, but Denver police and Colorado State troopers responded to this scene. They've been out here all morning long. They tell us the suspect ended up on the 7th floor where he fired more shots inside the building. It wasn't until about 3 o'clock this morning that the suspect called 911 and voluntarily surrendered to police. He was put in custody and is now at the hospital being evaluated. Now, they say there's extensive damage to the building and an investigation is ongoing. State Patrol and DPD are treating this incident really seriously at this time, but they say they don't believe it's associated with the previous threats to any Colorado Supreme Court justices. Despite that, traffic is a mess this morning. Back out here live, you can see this is Lincoln. You see quite the backup because they are blocking off about 3 lanes of Lincoln here this morning as you approach 13th. So you see people trying to merge into the other lanes, really creating quite a mess. A minute ago, the backup's really stretching all the way to 10th at least. So definitely, if you have to come downtown this morning, be aware of this closure because of the Supreme Court. Any buildings around the Supreme Court building, the Capitol, any other buildings in this area likely going to see some traffic because of this scene here. Now, they do say that this Judicial Center building will be closed for the day. Live in Denver, Carly Moore, Fox 31.
All right, a big closure there. Do you have any indication as to how much longer that area will be roped off for?
Lisa, I'm guessing until this other car is towed out of the way. So we did see the white sedan get towed away not too long ago. This red one still remains. So likely they'll be able to free up a few more of these lanes once that one gets moved out of the way.
I didn't know they towed only one car at one time in the accident scene. I didn't know that. Did y'all know that? I thought they towed both
How
cars.
about it's a red Tesla? Let's just start the Republican Party there. A red Tesla. It's a red Tesla. That speaks volumes. And then the poor girl they made read it. It's like she couldn't even keep a straight face.
Oh my goodness.
They kept it. That's why they kept their car out right there to show, to symbolize that. That's why they didn't tow it.
Hey man, they make it. Hey man, this thing is funny, man. Hey, what they told you? 3 o'clock. They say 3 a.m. Frank. 3 a.m. Don't remember that. 3 a.m. Frank. See, Frank, they keep on telling you the game they running on you, man.
Yeah, because it's either 33, 3, 9. It's always some kind of numbers like that. You know what I'm saying? So 13.
Wait a minute now. Hold on. Last night, Frank, I told you, they had the Washington Huskies, Texas Longhorns, Michigan Wolverine, and Alabama Crimson Tide playing each other. Alabama lost. Texas lost. Michigan and Washington played each other. 2 + 1 is 3. And the last time, 1991, Michigan and Washington played each other for the national championship. But Washington winning the national championship. I was only 4 years old. That's 33 years ago. They kind of just they just running all the damn scripts, numbers, everything on you at one time. They just gonna say, we just going away with it. See?
Now, what about the joyless? Was it joyless murder ball was what they were talking about, was for college football this year? If you Google that, it'll come up. Somebody mentioned it, and it was something about joyless murder ball. It was on ESPN and a few other places where they mentioned it. Well, I've been sort of tracking stuff. One of my good friends and I've been sort of tracking things with regards to college ball and the Native Americans or the indigenous Niji. Okay. And what I looked at, she's looking at it from a different point, but we're both still picking up stuff. What I saw was, for example, let's look at the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, the Georgia Bulldogs just played Florida
State. Seminoles.
Okay. The Seminoles. And that is an indigenous group, right?
Yep.
Would you say that was a massacre of a game?
Yes, 6-3-3.
6-3-3. Okay. All right. So let's look at it. Let's look at it. And I'm giving you guys some insight on a piece that I'm already working on. And as soon as I get off here, I guess I'll just push the button and upload it. But and I don't have my phone. I would play it for you guys. I would play the copy so that you would be the first to hear it. But so here's the thing. Does anybody remember when they used to let the dogs destroy the natives?
Yeah.
Does anybody? Okay. So you remember that. I know you remember it. And I know Frank probably remembers it. But a lot of people probably won't. Does that not remind you of it? The Bulldogs destroyed the
Seminoles.
Right. Ooh. And they massacred them. And that's exactly what was going on when Columbus got to the Americas. He went in and he let those mastiffs off in Jamaica. He let them off in Hispaniola, the Americas. He sicked them on the Americas. Now, one other thing that you'll notice in the report that I've done is the fact that they are playing a game with us here. And then let me tell you why how they're playing the game. A lot of people don't know who they are. Some of us do know who we are because we have parents who told us and grandparents who told us, and we're straight with it. We don't need anybody telling us anything else. But here's the funny thing. Did you know, King BJ, that those mastiffs were trained by one particular man, and this man worked right with Ponce de Leon? And not only did he work with Ponce de Leon, but he trained these dogs to delineate between the Spanish and the original people that he trained them to attack. He practiced on the Moors in Europe. What color were the Moors in Europe?
Look like me and you.
Uh-huh. So he trained those mastiffs in Europe to attack the Moors in Europe so that he would perfect it by the time they got to the Americas. So when they got to the Americas, these mastiffs knew the difference between who the Spanish were and who the natives, the Niji, were. Is anybody following me in the house?
Well, I got you.
So there's a double entendre. It's almost like a running thread. There's like a running theme. Double entendre. You have the Georgia team, that's the Bulldogs, which are mastiffs, even though those are a fat, pudgy dog that hardly can bark, and they're nothing like but that's a mastiff. It's still in the mastiff family, and it's a dog tearing up who?
The Florida State Seminoles.
Mm-hmm. Mm. And the Seminoles are a representation of
us, the indigenous ones. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we got that on the one hand, and then there are a few other things that are letting me know that they are done with the people that look like that lady right there and that lady next to that thing down there. They are finished. It is done. If people ain't got their game together now, they have been telling us over and over and over again that they're finished. They're done. They don't need us. They're bringing in 300,000 people. 300,000 people crossed that border on December 23rd. And the majority of them are military aged men. Now, not only are they bringing them here, but some major companies have decided not to have a bachelor's degree. Who do you know got the majority of bachelor degrees within our culture, for example? Is it the men or is it the women?
The women.
Okay. And I'll have to pull it up. But a few years ago, about 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago, during the pandemic, I made a comment to the women who running around saying they don't need no man. I said, in a minute, you're going to need a man because all of these high cost jobs y'all got, you're not going to have them because they're going to make sure that you are not able to take care of your children and you ain't going to have no man. So now they're telling these people, okay, we got big major companies at the top of 2024 that's telling everybody you're not going to have your degree, a bachelor's degree, to do these jobs. And I just said it the other day on the show, and that was, don't worry, because they're going to be able to bring 3 chicks in that's got clerical or that's got whatever it is you got, sister, with your $225,000 per annum job. They can bring 3 or 4 of them broads in and do your gig. And that woman that was on the screen the other day talking about, I don't understand why they wouldn't take care of us. I'm a single mother. And what am I going to do? They don't care. And they never did care. They ain't never cared about you. And they don't care about the new folks they letting in. It's a useful idiot. They're using these individuals to do whatever they can to push their narrative and to push us out the way. This is what's truly and honestly going on. If you look at everything, you can't find yourself no more in Aunt Jemima box. No pancake. You can't go find Uncle Ben's no more. Okay, not with your face on it. Okay, you can't find Aunt Jemima's. You can't find Miss, none of them. You can't find nothing that used to have your face on it because they said they used black folks and said, this is racist. So we're going to have to remove all of these things. So they removed that. They removed all of the statues. If you just take a piece of paper and write down everything that they did in the name of dissolving racism, they've erased you. I have a show right now on the B word, BIT, shoot. right now. It's called erased. Erased. People better wake up. People better wake up, because for the past several years, they've been using Black people to do what they want to do here and push their agendas. And Black people are acting like, yeah, see, look at you guys are y'all are all learning now because you had your white privilege. Listen, this civil war that's about to happen here is going to be a double-edged sword. It's going to be worse than what people think. These cats didn't do anything but reverse the blue hats because they knew nobody going to be able to deal with that. I said this, 2 years ago? That they were going to bring in people over here that's going to be those people, the quote unquote peacekeepers with the UN, but they're not going to have on their blue hats. And I said that. And they're not. Because if you look at these dudes that's crossing this border right now, that's them same cats that they be using, talking about their peacekeeping. And what do? They're over there graping people. They're over there deleting people. They're over there doing all kinds of crazy mayhem in these areas that the UN sends them to quote unquote keep peace. They're going to be the ones kicking in these doors. Not only that, does anybody know about the legislation now telling us that they're going to allow these people to be in our army? So where are they going to be using the army at?
People, yeah. They use the army, using them to recruit. Yeah, I know about that.
We're going to put them in the military? And like I say, you can't even get Bubba. You can't even get Bobo and Man them and none of them. None of them would even qualify to go because they don't even have a degree. I mean, high school diploma, or, they got this or they got that. They just letting these cats in willy-nilly. They also allowing them to be in the police department in primarily Democratic held areas. So who is the attack for if they coming into all the Democratic held areas, especially places like New York, and places like Chicago and Detroit? Where are they going? They're not going to the upper echelons.
To a door near you.
First, they going to a door near you. That's all I got to say on that.
Well, speaking of door by you, Frank, let me bring this up because, there's something that happened at Harvard University, We were talking about it. And her name was Claudine Gay. She was relieved of her duties. As you know. Yep. That's exactly right. But she's been relieved of her duties. And here we go.
Harvard University. Claudine Gay resigned today, weeks after her controversial testimony before Congress about anti-Semitism, and as she faced mounting accusations of plagiarism. Erin McLaughlin has the story.
Tonight, embattled Harvard President Claudine Gay stepping down, abruptly ending her turbulent 6-month tenure as the institution's first Black president, the shortest term of anyone in that position. In a letter to the Harvard community, Gay writing, "It has become clear that it is in the best interest of Harvard for me to resign, and that it has been distressing to have doubt cast on my commitments to confronting hate and to upholding scholarly rigor, two bedrock values that are fundamental to who I am, and frightening to be subjected to personal attacks and threats fueled by racial animus."
Anti-Semitic rhetoric, when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying.
Calls for Gay's resignation followed backlash to this response at last month's congressional hearing, when Republican Elise Stefanik pressed her about anti-Semitism on college campuses.
Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes.
Pressure grew in the following weeks, with Gay facing multiple allegations of plagiarism in her academic work. Harvard initially standing by Gay, but today the board accepting her resignation, saying she had acknowledged missteps, but also faced deeply personal and sustained attacks. Tonight, Stefanik claiming credit, saying this is just the beginning of what will be the greatest scandal of any college or university in history. Gay's resignation leaving the campus divided.
I'm glad that, it seems like we're moving in a direction where Harvard might begin to repair its public image.
I was flabbergasted. I was more than surprised. I was shocked. I don't think she was really given a chance from the start.
And Erin, this is now the second university president to step down after those hearings on anti-Semitism on campus.
That's right, Lester. The president of the University of Pennsylvania resigned following backlash to her testimony, and there's now a congressional investigation into all of this. Harvard has announced an interim president, Alan Garber. Gay will stay on as professor.
Erin,
Lester.
thanks very much.
Well, ain't that something? I mean, that got to be something kind of funny right there.
The greed people, baby. The greed people, they're powerful. You can't say nothing about the powerful people. You can't go against the powerful people. But you could talk about the people that don't have a chance. And you know what I'm saying? Like us. You could talk about us all day, all these celebrities. And see, that's why they do stuff like that, to kind of show you. And they do that so that these immigrants that come over here, because they already have a lot of little racist little stuff like that about us in that country. You notice they all have the N-word in their language about us anyway, even Africans, by the way. But anyway, that's another show. So, that's just gauging them into showing them how America does us and how they feel about us. So they could have that little anti-us kind of mindset anyway about us. You see what I'm saying? And that's all that is. That's why it's dog whistling, man. That's how I look at it. And but see, now the group that has the power, that's also gauging these people to treat them a certain kind of way, right? That's also gauging these people to see, you see them as who's boss and who's not. Who can they talk about, who they can't, right? These people, those people, they can't talk about them people because them people have power. It's not, because they gave, this and that, they buy off their politicians. No, these people are the politicians. They are the judges. They are the people.
Come on now, tell the truth. And the guy they're replacing her with is one of them.
That's right. There you go. Hey, look, baby. You can't have us. Hey, look, Frank. You can't have a screw without a Jew.
Ooh, damn. Ooh.
Yes, sir.
See, it's always something with them. It's always something regarding, you know what I mean? Somebody saying or talks about them or words about them. It's like, I mean, I don't see why people don't wake up and just smell the coffee, man. You know what I'm saying? It's black and white. But it's always somebody that looks like us too. You notice, even if it's some kind of public figure, it's either a rapper, a musician.
That's because they know who we are. And when we begin to identify with who we truly are, it is so hard for me to understand. I don't mean to cut you off, Frank, but it's so hard for me to understand why you can take people to the very book they live by and you can show them who is Semite, who is Shemitic. You can show them who is and who isn't. These people, plain and simple, are the descendants of Japheth. And I don't know how many times I can say that. And so when you hear one of the stars coming out saying something like Nick Cannon said that he was Hebrew and then began to explain how and why they made him take it back and eat his hat, eat his turban. He literally had to eat the turban.
You know what? And matter of fact, he started wearing, he got up in that dress too, come think about it, or something like that. Yeah, him. Then they had Neo, who said he wanted to do something, and he said daggone, and he dressed up as a damn female cowlad, the Masked Singer. Come to think about it, I think he
was in a dress.
Yeah.
In a jersey-made dress.
But see, you don't see like them doing that, like having to wear dresses and stuff like that. Like
yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, because it's part of their ritual. Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You think about it. You got.
I think he's talking about the Creed people.
I thought he was talking about the
No. He's saying you're not saying the Creed people. Creed people do that.
The white people?
Yeah, the J people. You know
they do dress up in dresses.
They do.
Yeah, they do. They all do.
You know what?
They do. You have Milton Berle. Go way back to Milton Berle. You could even go to Jerry Lewis. You could go to, if you start way back and come all the way up, you got Victor Victoria, which was with Dustin Hoffman. It was a whole movie. And then you've got Robin Williams when he played Mrs. Doubtfire. There are a bevy of huge hits.
You know, I pulled up Marc Jacobs last week, and Marc Jacobs is one of the most influential gay men in Hollywood. Marc Jacobs, that's the one that the girls by the bag, Marc Jacobs, all this other nonsense, Louis Vuitton, and all these other nonsense. Yeah, those guys are highly influential homosexuals. A lot of them, for the most part. So, a lot of people don't know what they buying when they buy that stuff.
Well, I mean, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna say about that, because I remember when a lot of people one of those diatribes, excuse me, one of those diatribes, long-winded diatribes about don't buy this and don't buy that. Don't you know that anybody that has the power to have nationwide or worldwide circulation of a product only gets there by having a whole boatload of them as their attorneys, chemists, people working for them, heads of the companies and corporation. So because you're in this world, but not of this world, if you buying anything, you getting it from them. So there's no way to escape that.
Yeah. I just always let people know who's who.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of women that like a lot of weave and a lot of makeup, a lot of them ain't gonna change that. Well, you know what, I'm gonna take that for myself too, because I have specific watches that I purchase and wear only because how long they last. I have handbags that I buy, and I don't buy a handbag every year. I buy one bag maybe every 4 or 5 years, and I just add on to what I have. And that's because I don't like buying purses all the time. And so I'll wear my casual bags are Dooney and Burke. They've been that way for years. For years, the casual bags that I wear, even my crossbodies, if my husband and I go out of town or something, they're Dooney and Burke because I like the guarantee they have on them. I like the fact that if something goes wrong, I'd send it in. They'll just send another one. My watches are Michelle watches. I like them because they're high quality. I don't have to get the ostentatious, one with all a bunch of goopy goop stuff on there. But if there's a problem, they're going to take care of it. And I purposefully purchase things that have not necessarily that shock and awe value, because you don't have to go out and get the extra fancy bedazzled stuff for it to be quality. I prefer that personally. But if I got to digging the way that I know I could on Dooney and Burke and Michelle and all these other companies that even my skincare, Shiseido skincare and other things, if I got to digging, man, it'd be a hot rump mess. It'd be a mess because I know they are everywhere. So your point is well received. They are ubiquitous, King BJ. They're ubiquitous.
Well, that's a good point. Now, I got to bring this up. This is for the, probably should be more breastfeeding and stuff like that. But nevertheless, it is what it is.
Formula is being recalled. Enfamil is recalling its Nutramigen A+ LGG hypoallergenic infant formula over possible bacterial contamination. Well, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency says the powdered formula may be contaminated with a pathogen that can cause illness. Enfamil's website says the containers were distributed in July and August. Affected products should be thrown out or returned to the location of purchase.
Well, got to go back to nature.
They already know that's a wrap because most of these women go to work every day, and a lot of them don't have those, mommy rooms. What are they called? Birthing or something, nursing rooms. These women ain't doing that. They're not going to whip out nothing and let a baby suck on that. I'm not doing that.
But you know what, though? I did go to a restaurant probably about a few weeks ago, and the woman was breastfeeding in the restaurant.
She had the cover over the baby.
No, I think I saw the baby. I can't remember how it went down. but it was kind of.
Oh, there's the baby right next to the areola. Hello, baby.
Yeah, it was all. Yeah, it was all. Yeah, I think. Yeah, this was around like about 3-4 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Speaking of that, let me just bring that up. Just like kind of like teed it up, but it's in. Speaking of breasts, ESPN had to apologize this morning for yesterday. I think they showed like the game or something, and they was on Bourbon Street or one of them streets out there in New Orleans, and a woman, flashed her breasts and they got caught on camera. They had to apologize for that. I'm like,
oh wow,
she don't have to
America
apologize
needs to
for
stop.
her little chi-chi though.
But my thing is, they do that all the time out there in New Orleans. So it's kind of like the UK. They just happened to. It was a commercial break, and they were showing the city of New Orleans, obviously. And it just so happened a woman was flashing her tits for braids or something like that.
But are they even throwing the beads right now? It's not even that season, is it?
I don't know.
See, that
I
makes
mean,
you
I'm
want to
from
think.
Louisiana. This is not bead throwing season yet, right? Don't we have at least a month?
But
it makes you want to
but
think.
it's crazy though, because they apologize. But my thing, ESPN is owned by Disney, who put out crazy ass movies. So I thought that'd be right up the alley for them, but they sure apologize for it.
But see, it makes you want to think. Since she has a good point, it ain't the season, it ain't Mardi Gras season yet. So it makes you
Fat Tuesday's not till February 13th.
It makes you want to think, was this a little stage,
Yes,
thing?
Janet Jackson.
I'm telling you, most of this stuff, anytime you, and then you got to look at this, anytime a lot of this stuff has a cut, you know what I'm saying? And, and stuff like that. I mean, editing, man, I'm telling you, man, a lot of this stuff do not be real. Just because it don't look like it was edited don't mean it wasn't. You see what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff is just, and then the two, like she was saying, a lot of this stuff distracts us from the real deal, from the food recalls, from the from the stuff in the food, from hell, might even maybe even have the damn the Rona in the damn water. I've been hearing stuff like that lately. So I'm not surprised, man. None of this stuff is far fetched at the end of the day. Is that Bishop? What's going on? So I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think, man? It's just like, but I mean, it just happened. You recording something, you recording a city, and this girl just happens to flash her breast. I don't know, right? Coincidentally, at the right time, and then there has to be an apology, just like a lot of when these celebrities do stuff. I think a lot of that stuff be staged because guess what? A lot of this stuff happens with an apology. Guess what? Somebody that look like me and you, and guess what? They're talking about the creep people. Oh, I gotta apologize. Either a man doing something to a woman, or it's the creep us saying something about a creep person. Am I right or wrong? They always use these celebrities to do it. That lets you know, man. These people, I don't think they're just actors and actresses. These people are actual. They get paid to be involved in these simulations, these artificial simulations that they be doing. That's what I think. Just like these rappers, they get paid millions of dollars, but it's not because they talents, because the fact that they're willing to indoctrinate these damn babies. What do y'all think?
You're right. I mean, I look at it like it's a clown show, man. Because I was like, wait a minute, so y'all just happen to get it on camera, and y'all got the woman, But nevertheless, that's just the way the ball bounces. I just looked at it like whatever, but don't sit there and lie and act like y'all didn't know this was going on. But it wouldn't even worth an apology because you can't control what somebody do outside.
Notice how she didn't have to be held accountable. The guy that filmed her did. You notice that? So there's another thing, teaching these females not to be able to be accountable. You know what I'm saying? Teaching them that they could do sex. It's not called anything sexual. Remember, it's called liberating yourself. It's called expressing yourself. It ain't doing nothing. It's not doing nothing demeaning to yourself. That's not what it's called to these people. It's called expression, right? Her being free, and these people. But see, I think the stupid people fall for it. That's the thing. If you fall for it, there's something wrong with you. That's what I think. You see what I'm saying? Because if you don't see this and get this, then it don't even take no damn reading to see this. It takes some common sense, and it takes some. You have to be on a higher vibrational frequency, man. Because when you are on a lower one, man, you're not going to be able to catch that. You're watching the Love and Hip Hop. You're watching the TikTok videos, and you're watching you see what I'm saying? You're watching the stories and the soap operas and these females on these reality TV shows throwing drinks on each other, and
what do they call it? Predictive programming, as they say. Now, let me get this California thing.
Now at 5:30, a remedy for future droughts in California that's not exactly for the squeamish, turning what we flush into water we drink. Good evening. This is the KTLA 5 News at 5:30. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Pedro Rivera. California regulators have approved rules for turning sewage into drinking water.
It's a precious resource for California's 39 million residents. KTLA's Jacqueline Sarkeesian joins us live from Laverne with the details. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, good evening to both of you. I know when we first hear wastewater
turning it into drinking water. A lot of us immediately are getting grossed out, but state water officials say that the state has actually been using recycled water for decades, just hasn't been used directly for drinking water, but now that it will be, it's a big step for California after it's been struggling for so many years to find a reliable source of drinking water for its more than 39 million residents, and especially since the state is prone to drought. It's an idea that once made people gag, recycling wastewater from toilets and turning it into drinking water. But on Tuesday, California regulators approved new rules to do just that. Take wastewater, treat it, and then put it right back into the pipes carrying drinking water to homes, schools, and businesses.
People in California are really understanding the value of water, understanding that we can do better than just using it one time and discharging it into the ocean.
Jennifer West is the managing director of Water Reuse California, a group fighting long and hard for recycled water.
I almost got misty. And rarely do you do that for regulations, but it was so it was really exciting to see so much work, so much effort has gone into this for so long, and to see this come to fruition today was really a career topper.
The new rules mandate water be treated for all pathogens and viruses, even if there aren't any in it.
What they adopted today was a regulations that has a multi-step purification process that goes through about 7 different types of distinct steps, where there's monitoring along the way at each step. So really, when water comes out, it's going to meet all drinking water standards. It's going to be some of the cleanest water there is.
And this won't happen overnight. It will likely be years before any Californians are drinking the treated water. The state first needs to build plants to purify the wastewater, which is expensive and time-consuming. Initially, it will only be an option for bigger, well-funded cities. The Metropolitan Water District is planning to build a $6 billion facility in Carson.
Ain't that some crap right there, man?
Pun intended. That's a bunch of crap.
Right there.
It's a bunch of crap. It's a lot of crap. It's going to be a whole load of crap. It's going to be a boatload of crap. It'll be a toilet filled with crap.
Yeah, and see, look, you know what? A real thing I didn't like that made me mad about that video is how they said they've been using the recycled water for years. How come? Where was the memo?
No, there was a memo. It was about 5 years ago. 5 years ago that I remember.
Damn. I mean, honestly, man, you know,
they're not lying to you.
I mean, so this is what I don't like. They're talking about how's there a drought? You know what I'm saying? Like, how the drought? How we're close to? We got oceans. We got. They don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? We got like we're all surrounded by ocean, by water. Like California's surrounded by a bunch of water. How's there a drought? And see, they've been saying this drought stuff for years, man. You see what I'm saying? Where's the proof? You know what I mean? But they're just trying to do this, man. Honestly, man, this is all about control, man. And this is like third world country type stuff, man. Slowly turning this mug into a third world country, man. And why is it only California? You know what I'm saying? You notice they do the weirdest stuff. I mean, I'm not the Republicans. They ain't off the hook yet, but I'm just saying the weirdest stuff happens in the Democratic cities and states. I don't know, really weird. People are willing to go for the weirdest stuff in these days.
So while you had your head down, Israel to defend against genocide accusations filed by South Africa in World Court. WPDE.com. All right, let's read this. Let me read this for a quick minute. Israel will defend itself before the United Nations top court against charges that engaged the genocide of Palestinians in Gaza. Officials said Tuesday. A rare engagement world body, which Israel often announces its bias against South Africa, launched the case Friday in the International Court of Justice of the Hague, Netherlands, saying the magnitude of death, destruction, humanitarian crisis in Gaza from the Israeli military campaign against Hamas meets the threshold of genocide under international law. South Africa asked the court to order Israel to halt its attacks in Gaza. Israel discusses international cases against it as unfair and biased and rarely cooperates. Its decision to respond to the charge, saying that the government is concerned about the potential damage to its reputation. Elon Levy, official in the Israeli Prime Minister's office on Tuesday, accused South Africa of giving political and legal cover to the October 7th attack by Hamas that triggered Israel's campaign. So, okay. So, the website is WPDE.com, News Nation, Israel. So, I'm just telling you, it's a lot of things that people are not talking about that's going on. I mean, some people knew it who keep up with stuff, but a lot of people might not know this information. I don't think United Nations will do nothing no way, but I'm just telling you that they are trying to do, they are talking about it. It's in there, you know, that's what I would call it.
I agree.
But I just showing you that it's a lot of stuff that they not even really mentioning. Because they trying to defend themselves against genocide. So that go to show you why you got to defend yourself.
I want to ask you guys something. It's a little off the beaten path, but it is on the Africa topic. Has anybody seen these African people singing in Chinese on Instagram? And everybody's like, oh my gosh, they can sing so wonderful. Listen to their voices. Oh, how wonderful. They can learn different languages and sing. They're so talented. There's nothing Black people can't do, people are saying. But can I give you, if you guys have heard about it, or if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. Because I'm going to tell you something that I think about it, and I want to know what you think.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's their colonizers that, I mean, they've had the Belt and Road Initiative in certain parts of Africa for some time. And so, yeah, the colonizers are going to make sure they can speak the language and whatnot in order for them to be able to get around and do what they need to do. It's the same thing that happened here. So I'm like, why is everybody, that's sad. It was sad 8 years ago when they were all out there talking about how the Chinese men were going over into Africa and having babies with these women over there. You guys remember that?
Iron influence.
Yeah.
But my thing is, why are they, you know what I'm saying? Why are they doing it? Why, you know what I mean? Or why are they messing with them? You know what I mean? But money talks.
They're going over there to mess up that bloodline, all them bloodlines over there.
Influence and money talks, but it makes you think, why are them women actually messing with those men? Why are they doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like they're kind of complying with it. Like, but
and
see,
the men don't want them. They're on an agenda the same way they were on the agenda here.
You know what's crazy? When them a lot of these African women, they'll quick the European. They'll pick the European. They'll pick anybody over Americanized indigenous man like me. They don't. A lot of them don't mess with us. Their men will mess with.
Thank God you dodged a bullet. They're the worst.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't have some bad experiences.
They're bossy. They're not submissive, and that's why I just be sitting there cracking up laughing when I hear people talking that mess. They're not submissive. They're bossy. They're cheap. And this is just my personal experience. When I owned salons, I had a lot of customers who were like, you know, Nigerian and different countries. They were terrible. I would have a sale on a hairstyle. Like, say, for example, I was doing a relaxer special, if I had a relaxer special or something, right? And I'd offer a free haircut, which is necessary. If a person decides to get their relaxer, they should get a haircut. That's how we were trained in school. I would do a nice little special. You know, normally that thing would cost about maybe $200 for everything I had to do. I'd run a special for like, $90. And these are not people who weren't my customers, so they knew my prices. Do you know that they start to try to negotiate with you right at that number? But they don't go to Walmart and negotiate. They don't go nowhere else and negotiate, but they will stand in the middle of your establishment and negotiate. And they're loud. But you find a lot of dudes. I hope you're going to talk about the divestors that are going over to other countries sooner or later, because I really got to talk about that. Going over there getting beat up and going to places like, I'm like, who would have ever thunk I'm going to go to Colombia? I can trust that those women over there are going to take care of me. Yeah, with all them organized gangs bopping these dudes upside the head. We really got to get into that. All these black cats getting over there. I ain't got no money, y'all. Please, somebody just send me a cash app. She took my wallet. Yeah, please, somebody help me. We got to talk about that.
All
Maybe
right,
we'll
but
do it
look, you know
Saturday.
what? That wasn't even one time. But let's talk about. Let me please one or two more clips and we'll talk about this.
That's real. They ain't something else, man.
Because Shaq, I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he sleep, whatever. I called him like 4 times. So there you go. I had some other stuff I had to bring up, but he ain't on. So show must go on. So anyway, let me play this part. This happened to some people I know that it actually happened about Lyft.
And I work Lyft to make ends
I
meet.
thought that was a
Linda
man.
Morales has driven hundreds of rides for Lyft. New Year's Eve, she flipped on her LED sign expecting to bring in extra earnings on a busy night. Instead, she had to hit the brakes earlier than expected.
Right around 10 o'clock or so, the app seemed to have crashed, and instead of showing my earnings, it showed $0.
Drivers can normally cash out earnings instantly. So with no sign of money coming in off the ride she was giving, Morales had to call it quits.
It was very frightening last night not to be able to see my earnings coming on.
She's far from alone. Lyft drivers across the country are steering into the same issue.
I would not have been on the road last night past 12 o'clock had it not been New Year's Eve. I was looking forward to and counting on those extra rides and, looking forward to helping people get home safely from parties, when they were drinking or shouldn't be on the road driving.
She's now calling on the rideshare to explain why her earnings are not showing up.
Lyft needs to apologize to its drivers, compensate us for our time that we worked last night, and treat us with respect.
And that was Tommy Clark reporting. Now, 11 News did reach out to Lyft. The spokesperson says, quote, "We are aware of an issue impacting some drivers. Our team has been working quickly to resolve it as soon as possible so that drivers see and receive the correct earnings." They add that all earnings are safe.
How convenient. Just how very convenient. Well, sound like somebody playing some hanky panky. Man, this thing is bad, ain't it? What do you think about that, Frank? A lot of money missing, huh?
I mean, I just think a lot of stuff is organized, man. So, so organized.
They said it was a glitch. That's what they claimed, it was a glitch.
It just happened to be a glitch, right? In the nick of time, right?
In their favor.
What about the reimbursement? Were they talking about are they going to be reimbursed to many drivers or what?
Yeah, did they say anything about giving them their money back or saying, hey, did you keep a record of it?
Safe.
Huh?
They said all that money is safe.
Yeah, I would want to see my money. I'd be like, oh, okay, go right ahead and send it to me now. Send it to me now.
Now you know that I forgot to tell you I was a plane crash in Japan.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Earthquake.
My grandson told me about that this morning.
Yep. Monica passed out on the side of the stage in a concert in Houston.
What was that about?
They say she had some mitral thing, some heart thing that's been going on for.
Monica the singer?
But yeah, the singer, yeah.
Oh wow. Damn.
They said she was 43, BJ. Why do I feel like she was older than that?
No, she might be about 43.
She came out like the 90s.
Yeah. Now, yeah, she came out
What
like
was
the
she
90s.
in the 90s?
Yeah, she was like.
She was singing in the 90s. Remember when she was singing? She had the album called "The Boy's Mind" and all that.
Yeah, her and Brandy.
I think I was like 11 when she first came out. So she probably.
Yeah, I remember Monica. She was on the what is it, the Space Jam soundtrack. She had a song called "For You I Will."
Oh yeah.
That's one. All right, let me bring this up right quick. I gotta bring it up, Miss Felicia. This guy, he breaks some things down sometimes.
Tithes. What is tithes? 10% of your money, right? Let's see what the Bible says. Deuteronomy 14, verse 21.
And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God, and the place which you shall choose to place his name there.
Read.
The tithe of thy corn.
The tithe of your corn.
The tithe of thy wine.
Tithe of your wine.
The tithe of thy oil.
The tithe of your oil.
Of thy firstling.
Of your firstling.
Of thy herd.
Of which is of your herd. That's your sheep. Okay.
Of thy flocks. That thou may learn to fear the Lord thy God always.
So tithing was seed, corn, wine, oil, and sheep. We didn't read no money there.
Verse 28. At the end of 3 years.
At the end of 3 years.
Thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thy increase.
Bring all the tithes at the end of every 3 years. The church don't teach that. The church says every week, give me 10% of your money. But that's not in the Bible. Tithing, you heard of tithing?
Well, let's just say I brought that up to get to one specific thing. I know everybody's been asking me, what do you think about the TDJ thing? What do you think about the TDJ thing? I could have told you that he was a clown anyway. Right? So, what do you expect? Stop giving you money. The man told you daggone ain't got nothing to do with money. You know, I saw this clip of them doing swag surfing and that thing. You know, next week they're gonna have what's it called? A big performance in Houston. They're gonna have Fantasia. You know, Fantasia, I think they used to use her music for gospel or something. She could be singing the national anthem. But you know what got me? A lot of hypocrisy going on. You know, about 7 years ago, you know, they were talking about boycotting national anthem. Now they got Fantasia doing that. There, she been in the color purple. You got pastors, even preachers talking about the color purple, and you should go see it. And it's thing weird, man. Like, but everybody's on a gravy train, baby. Highway to hell, I guess, as they call it. But nevertheless, when I saw this, when I thought about it, I said to myself, now I met Fantasia in person in 2019 at the Ritz-Carlton in Charlotte, North Carolina. There was a college basketball tournament called CIAA. They moved it to Baltimore now. But nevertheless, that's either here or there. You know, but I didn't think that they would, you know, I mean, she's from High Point, North Carolina, as a Burlington, one or the other. I kind of was like, she getting the color purple, but it's her to rise and be and so forth and like. But you got all these social clubs that's trying to get you to go see it, you know. So my thing is, I'm just letting you know, TD Jakes, all of them, they showing you we on the same team, baby. Either you're tithing the church, you tithing the theater, or you basically tithing to see them. And you know what? I'm not even getting this movie Leave the World Behind tonight too much.
No. Because I tried to get people to come with me to help me do a review, and I asked everybody. I haven't seen the movie. So if you're going to get into the movie, we're going to get in it together, buddy. You and I are going to break down the movie together and do a review on the Lockhart Perspective, because I was trying to run around and find somebody. Okay. I'm sorry. Did I say all that aloud?
No, you did. But well, that's right. That's right.
You remember, don't you?
Well, you didn't ask me to do a review on it, actually.
Okay, well, point taken. But I know I was digging and scrambling and looking for people, and I even said it live, and I even asked Shaq. I haven't seen the movie.
But
I don't like to watch it.
Come to think about it. Hold it. because on Barack Obama's Twitter page the other day. He did put up 3 movies that he was biased toward. One of them was Oppenheimer. One of them was American Symphony, and this movie that we just talked about, right? Then released his top artist of the year. It was a weird ass playlist. I said, why is he putting this on Twitter to let you know his top songs, top movies, all that other stuff? Show you they got another agenda behind this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we just got to understand. Yeah, we got a lot of claim. Now, look, on April 26th of this year, April 26th or 24th, whatever.
What's going to happen?
They're going to bring out the movie Civil War. Have they not been talking
wow.
about Civil War lately a lot in the media? Civil War.
Uh-huh.
Isn't there a movie about that?
That's what
they got it coming out in April.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And then, look, real quick, my bad, not trying to interrupt you. And then didn't they ask Nikki Haley something about the Civil War? Dude, these people.
Yes.
It's slick, boy.
And she
And
said,
they got mad at her response. I didn't get mad because she was making some sense. But, lady, stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to be a European. I know you kind of got that look. You got to like did the whole European thing to where you look like a European. But you're from India. You're from Bangladesh. Let's slow down. You know what I'm saying? And you see, but people got mad and offended. But hey, so Civil War wasn't about what they. But that's another topic. But yeah, that's why they.
No. Stay right there because it was on ideological issues. And what this gonna be about? Ideological issues on a whole new scale this time. But this thing gonna be about pastors, preachers, homosexuals, trans, the medical system. This is gonna be a civil war on a whole new level. Anybody can get it this time.
Right.
Because civil means just that, civil. Don't have nothing to do with color, but it's gonna be a civil war. There are gonna be color factions, so there'll be colored pieces of it.
Civil rights.
No, I'm saying that there's going to be shades of black and white. It will be civil on so many different levels, and that. Okay, so when we think of civil, we think of civilization, we think of communities, we think of people. When you have to sue somebody civilly, as opposed to suing them or as opposed to taking them to court for something that was criminal. Civil means between people. It doesn't necessarily mean shade of person.
Well, Frank, I'm gonna be honest with you. How could the Civil War be about slavery when Lincoln told? I mean, what Lincoln said, didn't he say? It wasn't about freeing those sleeves for him. It's about saving the
That's
Union.
right. You say he didn't care.
Didn't he want to ship? Or I can't say back to Africa. Let me stop. But didn't he want to ship us to Africa? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're right, man. I just don't.
You know what? Wait a minute. Come back to something.
Are you talking about Madison?
No, they were saying that Madison Grant too, but because that dude was a big eugenics dude, but they were talking. They were saying that Lincoln said something like that too. But see, all these people were working with Marcus Garvey, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what they hold back to the African movement. That's why he was a part of it. They hired this dude, man. You know what I mean? Like, Walter Plecker. Marcus Garvey and Walter Plecker was buddy. They was in pictures together and everything. So what does that tell you? Like, there was that lets you know everything was in a reverse. We didn't, they were just trying to send us there. That's how that worked.
Now go back to Lincoln because we had the Civil War. I want to go back to something right quick. What's the thing going on with Trump? They talking about trying to move on the ballot or something, right? When Abraham Lincoln moved on the ballot in 10 states and still, come on, man. They throwing it right in your face.
Right.
Like a violin, baby. Stroking the pen, baby. Now, got about 15 more minutes. All right, Miss Felicia, take it away. What do you want to talk about this divestment?
I am just cracking up laughing every time I see, the guys go over to, first it started with the whole red pill thing. You know how everybody is so talking about the black woman. I can't stand the black woman. The black woman does this. The black woman. How come the black woman can't be submissive? How come the black woman can't do this? How come this, and this, and that? And barring some of the people who may have been saying that stuff, because I don't know them personally, maybe they, were good dudes. But I'm sure everybody knows a dude who ain't good. I'm sure everybody knows a homosexual that sleeps on the couch and lets a girl go to work. When she get up to go to work, he takes her car, drops her off, and then he gallivants around the neighborhood, goes from girl to girl, uses up all of her gas. He's late for picking her up from work. Everybody knows somebody like that. You might not be that cat, but everybody knows somebody like that. So when I see these guys get in these situations where they're bashing the woman, I have a problem with the fact that there's two sides to every coin, and it looks like they're just leaning heavily on the one side. Because when I speak about our women, I'm doing it from a place of love, and I'm doing it from a place of being a woman and having some solutions for them. Because I don't like to talk about problems without a solution. I'm always going to ask at one point or another, how do we fix it? I'm sure you may have or may not have heard me ever ask that question. Okay, how do we fix it? So I don't mind people having, pointing out the obvious in a circumstance or situation. But I find it very curious when these cats that, say they, want to find a woman who's submissive, get together and go to another country and pay for box. You're literally paying. But they don't see it that way. They literally think that the women that they're going over there to visit are there for them. Mind you, if you've seen some of the women on the videos that these guys are like, look, y'all, I'm in the DR. Look, y'all, I'm over here in this country. Hey, look, I'm here in the Philippines. All of them have silicone tatas. A lot of them have very fitted outfits. A lot of them are, yes, baby, yes, baby. That's... Houdini called him a hoe. Wasn't it Houdini? I think it was Houdini. So my question is, why are they going over there looking for love? Because they're really paying for it and don't realize she does this for a living. Now, let me tell you how we know they do it for a living, because lately they've been going into Colombia. Men have been going into Colombia and reaching back out to the States saying, I need help to get back home. I met a girl. We went to a bar. We went to a restaurant. I paid for her food. We ate. Then we went to another bar that she knew of. The next thing I know, she gives me a drink, and I'm waking up in the front of my hostel or my hotel, hostel. And I am without my cell phone and without my wallet. Because the guys that are out there know that these dudes are coming over there for that. So what they're doing is they're getting these chicks as prostitutes. They're getting these broads to go out and meet these dudes. And these idiots are taking their, yes, baby. Okay, thank you so much, Big Daddy. Oh, you're so nice in the Philippines. They're taking all of that niceness. Anything you want from, I will do for you. Oh, you're so beautiful. Okay, he wonderful. Oh, yeah, Big Daddy. Doing all of that. And you take that as she's submissive and she's on my program, and I'm going to go back and visit her in another 3 months, and I think I just might ask her to marry me. The deal is these dudes is going over there getting a wake-up call because they don't understand that the level of crime in Colombia, in the Dominican Republic, and in all these other places that are impoverished is skyrocketed. It's far beyond what they could ever imagine. They get their ignorant selves over there and can't get back and are begging people for money. That's all I need to say about it. I just find it, the amount of people that are going over there getting the gaffling, they're all getting gaffled, but they're calling back home asking for help. I find that curious.
Now, let me say something. Because I think my uncle, he went to Panama and he brought a woman back here and married her, but I think they got divorced when I was young or something like that. But he was in the military, so that might have been different. But I do know some people that used to bring their women back home, come think about it. Which is kind of interesting in this.
Well, I think that's a little different. I mean, it's it's got the same undertone, but I think it's a little different. You know what I mean? I think it's a little different, and that okay, he was stationed there and your uncle met the lady. And yeah, she probably did see him as a meal ticket to, get to the States and get some money because they love money. See, that's the one thing as a woman, especially being in the beauty industry as many years as I was, I got to see women of all ethnicities working in the beauty industry. And you get to know them on a personal level. They are about their money. Now they may not tell people that's what it's about, but everything that they do with their actions, it's all about their money. Have you guys ever met any of them like that? They're about their money. Meet them. I was working at Bloomingdale's. There was a chick, every time that my numbers would jump up, next thing I know, here she comes. Oh, I can do it too, Belisha. Belisha, watch. I'm going to beat you. I'm like, there's no beating, sis. I got 3 kids at the house I'm trying to take care of. I got 4 kids to take care of. I'm not even tripping on you. The reason why I sell like I sell is because we got to eat. And I'm not getting state aid. I have to pay for everything. But this chick was competitive. And the dudes that she met, no, I don't like him. He don't have money. I don't like him. He don't have money. I ain't joking. Nurse Dawson. Yeah, he don't have no money. I don't like him. He poor. I don't want him. So these dudes are going over there to these different countries and they're getting their wake-up call. And I say that it's a great thing that it's happening because get your weight up. If you don't have game here, learn to speak to women. Learn to choose the right woman. Okay? That way you don't have to go out here and feel like, oh, all these chicks just want me for this. They just want me for that. There's a real problem going on. There's a real problem going on. You're literally paying for a box that you could get here for nothing. Because there's chicks that'll throw it at you. They'll just unattach it and just take it, ball it up real good, and just throw it at you. All you gotta do is take them out to, you can't take them to Cheesecake Factory anymore thanks to the whole cheesecake.
Oh, that's bull crap.
But I don't think anything's wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, totally, they've got the best selections of cheesecake.
It's expensive too.
And I don't find anything wrong with Cheesecake Factory, but this chick just messed it up for them. But the point I'm making is you'll find some woman out here who'll be willing to, if it's just a matter of a few minutes or just a little bit of time, you'll find a chick that wants to spend some time with you. Now, can you hang on to her long term? And if you could, would you want to? Pick better. But a lot of the guys that I've seen are some nerdy little dudes, some cats that don't really have a good, they're Lord help them is all I can say. Because what I tell you, BJ, Frank, when I saw this last dude, he literally got on YouTube with a dude talking about, man, I went over there. And the next thing I know, I was waking up, blah, blah, blah. One dude didn't come back. Another dude went over there, and it was a white guy. He went over there and they took all his money. Yeah, a lot of people are doing this. So sit your tail at home and learn how to be the best version of yourself and learn to pick better. That's it. I tell you, if I ever get a divorce, well, let me just say this. I will never get married again in my lifetime. Stay single. Stay single. Do things that you want to do to take care of yourself and have fun. You know what I mean? If you want to go and get your massage, go get your massage. If you want to get your feet done, get your feet done. Sir, if you want to go and learn how to fish or play a new instrument, do that. Do things that help fortify yourself. If you cannot get a good woman, go do things that help build yourself up. But do not go out this country, my friend. You're going to get yourself over there in one of them countries and find some straight up gorillas. Because from what I remember, Colombia, Panama, especially Bogota, all of those areas got gorillas. And I don't mean gorillas. I mean gorillas. Them cats over there be jumping out of all kind of bushes and all kind of stuff. These people are cutthroat individuals, and this is nothing new. We already knew about this. If you go right now to the travel site on the United States government, if you go there, there are alerts that tell you to stay out of Colombia. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know why. But hey, one thing I'll say, they may not have a mouthpiece and they may not have no game to get the chicks here that they want, but they definitely brave. They some brave cats.
They go way out there too. And see the thing is, I think there's a disconnection between men and women, period. And I think that's government has a lot to do with this government. I think it has a lot to do with this social media too. Because social media, if you think about it, it really teaches you kind of like not really how to socialize. You know, you'll hit somebody up on Facebook or something. You got their number. You ain't gonna call them. Hit them up on Facebook or Instagram, whatever. You know, you're not gonna go visit them. You know what I'm saying? It's like when's the last time you talked to so and so. Oh shit! When I I haven't seen him in a while, but I hit him up on Facebook. Or he hits me up on Facebook every now and then. It's like, and so that goes into the dating. It goes into socializing, and it goes into the dating. The socializing obviously goes into dating because interaction. You see what I'm saying? So it gives people, for one, we already awkward from this using the social media like this for so long, even being on quarantine for all that time too. And for two, it really puts a lot of attention on a lot of these females. A lot of these females get a lot of attention, and now you have to see it's intermingling with the Instagram model, IG model now. You see what I'm saying? So they think that these normal females that normal 9 to 5 think that they could be Instagram models now. Oh shoot! Well, all I gotta do is to show a little bit of skin, and you see what I'm saying, and show
Girl,
a little
put the wobble away.
show my body, or dress like this and this and that, and I can get this. Oh, and shoot, if I get a certain amount of subscribers, now I can get monetized on Instagram. Now I can get monetized on this station. Now I can get monetized on this channel. You see what I'm saying? So, and plus, you meet a female in person, they ain't even prone to meet you in person. They get so much attention on the social media, people, period, that it's awkward when you interact in person. It's really weird, man. They doing this. It's an experiment, man. They did this. That's why it's called the metaverse. We in the Matrix, man. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Now look, I like to talk about some health stuff, Frank. I got to bring this up because this ain't really healthy. All this social media thing. You're talking about all this stuff all the time, right? You know what I'm saying? I got to bring this up though. Got to bring it up. People been asking about it. Guy said, "Man, I was in the gym the other day. No, I wasn't in the gym. I was at a restaurant. I said, man, you got a mask on, man. What's going on?" He said, man, they got this new thing out, this new vibe. What's it called? JN1 or whatever the hell it is. I'm like, here we go. So now they talking about they got long flu. I said, damn, what happened to the short flu? What the hell is long flu? Hey, man, what's all his name? Long C19.
You probably gonna have it for longer.
Long. Help me out, man. Please help me. I'm getting confused. I mean, it is what it is. But Miss Felicia Lockhart, we had a conversation about it before. Every last year they've been saying after the holidays, there'll be a lot of sickness. After the holidays. After the holidays. Don't they always say that?
Yeah, predictive programming.
Okay. That's what they say. Always at the holidays. Oh, you were gathering with your family. Can it not be the fact that maybe you were drinking a lot of alcohol, eating a bunch of junk, all that? Because every time I tell you, daggone Patient First is a daggone facility right across the street. Okay?
Who told you about what I was doing over the holidays?
Well, hey, it is what it is.
I'm just joking. I don't want anybody to take that and run wild with it. I wasn't doing a lot of eating.
Patient First across the street, right? Every day after the holiday, that little clinic or whatever, it's like they open like 8 to 10. One of the urgent care facilities, daggone, you already know when it go down that, hey, people gonna be packed in the urgent care facility at the hospital. Drunk too much, ate too much. Could be some sickness too. I'm just saying, I'm just giving out a lot of factors. So that's how it goes. But let them explain to you, because they're gonna tell you the same thing I'm telling you.
But wait a minute, before you do that, I gotta tell you, my whole family was hit with something that was barbaric. I mean, this thing was, I still have some of the inflammation in my chest now. Whatever that was that hit us about maybe 3-4 weeks ago, I had to literally make myself after taking a lot of different things, and I'm not going to say what I take because I don't want nobody and then taking your channel, but I literally, this thing was so crazy. Whatever this sickness they released was, it was so off the chain that it affected the dreaming phase. It affected dreams. It affected my sleeping. it was, oh. So they claimed that it was another COVID, but like I just told you guys, they just said the CDC just put out the statistics for the COVID and the drinking water. I hope everybody is listening to this because, see, I don't want people to think that your enemy wouldn't do something wicked. But you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are saying, well, no, it doesn't exist. No, it exists. But do you need what's on that screen to fix it? Or do you just need to take care of yourself? I don't know. I'm gonna just leave that alone.
Damn.
Well, let them tell it to you.
Batch of COVID cases right here in Western Mass.
And Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lockery joins us live in studio with more on what local doctors are seeing. Reagan, what mandates have already made their way back into public spaces?
Abby and Chris, as of Friday, masks are required at all times for everyone over the age of 5 at all Bay State hospitals. That includes Bay State Medical Center, Bay State Children's Hospital, Bay State Noble Hospital, Bay State Wing Hospital, and Bay State Franklin Medical Center, as well as Demore Centers for Cancer Care. Bay State provided Western Mass News with a statement that reads, in part, quote, in light of the steady increase in the number of COVID-19 cases both among patients and in the community, Bay State Health is updating its masking policy to require masking at its hospitals and strongly recommending mask wearing in its ambulatory care settings. With this update in COVID protocols, we took our questions to the director of microbiology laboratory teaching at UMass Amherst, Dr. Erica Hamilton, to find out what she's been seeing.
It seems like everybody's got something. The flu is going around, COVID cases are going up, RSV cases are increasing. There's even an increase in things like head colds going around. So everybody's got something, and it's been compounded by the holidays where people have been visiting with each other, people have been traveling, and now, of course, the kids are going back to school.
Dr. Hamilton tells Western Mass News it's unlikely places like UMass will reinstate the mask mandate unless we see levels spike extremely high like during the peak of the pandemic. However, she feels with the recent increase in cases, other doctors' offices and places that see the largest number of sick people will likely decide to have visitors mask up. She adds that we will most likely continue to see an increase in all of these respiratory illnesses for the next few weeks, and then hopefully it will drop off to a more reasonable level.
Reagan, does Dr. Hamilton believe vaccines have been helping to stop the spread?
Well, Abby, Dr. Hamilton tells me that vaccination rates are not where they should be here in Massachusetts and across the nation to stop COVID from continuing to cause serious infections in people. But I'll have more on that and when Dr. Hamilton expects COVID protocols will start to mimic that of the flu and other respiratory illnesses coming up tonight at 6.
Happy New Year. It's officially 2024, and many of you are back to work, back to school, and back to the germs. The CDC says that our region is very high for cases of COVID-19, flu, RSV, and other respiratory illnesses. There's also a new COVID variant that's dominating the new cases, although that comes with some good news. It's not as severe as some of the previous variants. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan has more on all the germs that we're bringing into the new year.
You know, you're sitting on a train to Manhattan to go see the tree, and you think to yourself, wow, a third of this train is coughing.
Rutgers' David Sinemo figures many folks traveling over the river and via packed flights over the holidays shared more than just hugs. 'Tis the season for respiratory viruses like COVID, flu, and RSV to flourish.
Especially in New Jersey, we're seeing a lot of cases right now.
A CDC map shows respiratory virus infection rates surging across the nation, especially down south, and very high in the New Jersey, New York City metro areas. Helping drive that spike in New Jersey, influenza. New Jersey's seen a rapid rise in cases of influenza type A, H1N1, with more than 1,000 cases reported. That's out of over 6,700 flu cases statewide in the week ending December 23rd.
We never know when flu season is going to hit, but we know that when it hits fast. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we've seen in past years. And certainly holiday-associated travel is always going to be a risk. And I think we're still a bit extra vulnerable this year.
Why? CINEMO cites an apparent slump in vaccination rates for both flu and COVID, and the viruses can seemingly attack in tandem, explains Montclair epidemiologist Stephanie Silvera.
If you're sick, your immune system is compromised, you are more susceptible to other illness. And so we are seeing this compounding, this potential for, the dual epidemic or triple demic as we thought about in the past.
New Jersey's COVID rate also shows a holiday spike with more than 7,400 cases reported the week ending December 30th. Partly responsible, a new COVID variant called JN1, which the CDC identified in almost 60% of Jersey and New York City's most recent cases. It's highly transmissible, but apparently less severe, Silvera says.
In the United States, the number of cases that have been typed to be JN1 have been increasing. I think impact in terms of hospitalization and death versus impact in terms of illness are two different things.
The World Health Organization called JN1, quote, low risk, adding, while there's a rapid increase in JN1 infections and likely increase in cases, available limited evidence does not suggest that the associated disease severity is higher as compared to other circulating variants.
The good news is that it's not 2020 again, and there is a lot of immunity in the community, both due to natural infection and vaccine, the combination. So people are getting COVID, but they're not as sick on average as they were before, much less sick. There are fewer hospitalizations, there are fewer deaths.
The CDC reports respiratory viruses now account for some 8% of emergency room visits. The latest New Jersey hospital census, with 62 of 70 facilities reporting, showed more than 1,140 COVID patients, 124 of them in the ICU as of yesterday. Not surprisingly, many hospitals across the state have reinstated mask requirements, and that's not a bad idea in crowded venues, the public health experts say. They also urge it's not too late to get vaccinated.
Americans are eager to pop pills, but not as eager to take vaccines.
He says vaccine resistance does persist. I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJ Spotlight News.
Well, Dr. Felicia Lockhart said that she is going her way. Thank me for having her on the show. I don't but that was pretty fun. She was on, she was great as usual. Yeah, she was great as usual. But nevertheless, Frank, you still there?
Man, man,
you got, they in California, they got drinking water, they recycling the toilet water that you can drink and all that. No wonder y'all getting sick out there, man.
And they talking about diseases and all this stuff, but yet look at they're doing stuff to cause diseases. They're doing stuff to give you bacteria. They do stuff to, you see what I'm saying? And they're not even trying to tell you about a lot of these diseases and bacteria, that there's good bacteria. There's good, you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of this stuff, man. I mean, problem, reaction, solution, man. That's that. But they do call it the flu for a reason. That's all. My bad. I don't want to say too much on your channel, but we all know, man. If anything got a patent, then what did that tell you? What did that tell you? BJ, if something has a patent, what that tell you? That means it was made by somebody, right? Invented.
Somebody got the rights, baby.
Dawson, you see what I'm saying, Dawson? So, I mean, what does that tell you, man? It's scary stuff here, man. I mean, biological warfare, anybody?
I got about, let's see, got about 10 minutes. Anybody want to call in, they can call in at 571-450-0773. All right, let's see. Miss Felicia Lockhart left. I don't know what happened to my main Chak. But this is very, very interesting. And of course, Frank, like I said earlier, you know, we had the thing with the Supreme Court. They say the guy ran up in the building. They didn't tell you who the guy was yet, by the way. You know.
And then look, no, look. Oh, I didn't want to. Yeah, I said this in the comment section. The dude was okay. Obviously, he was white because they linked him to being in the psych ward. That's where he's at. He's not in no prison. He ain't no jail. He's in the my bad. That's for trial. That's for somebody that's been convicted going to prison.
Oh,
he's
man.
not in the jail. So what does that tell you? What that tell you? And see, lets you know too. This is probably staged because he's in a real scenario. You're not gonna go to no psych ward, dude, for doing nothing crazy like that, dude. For doing something that's not even crazy, doing something ballsy. That dude has some balls. But see, a crisis actor would have balls, wouldn't he?
That's crazy, Eddie, man.
Look, the crisis actor, look, what did I say? You complete your job, you make sure the crisis went through, and then nobody gets hurt at the end of the day. And you in a psych ward, you ain't gonna get hurt in no psych ward. Not by no other inmates, right? You see, I don't know, man. It's just like they tell you that these mass shootings be fake. They tell you that these incidents be fake.
Hey man, they clown it all the way around, man. This thing funny, man. Come on, man. You know the clown show is on the prowl, man. I just laugh, man. I think it's funny as hell.
They kind of like tell you that they're really telling themselves. They really do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey, man, you know how it go, man. You know how it go.
Is this Green Blizzo? Green Blizzle? They talking about, oh man, the white supremacists and shit. They don't never tell you who the people are. They don't never name no names, no groups, no nothing. They just say white supremacists. But see, that's how a lot of us do it. A lot of these so-called black YouTubers say the same shit. White supremacy this, white supremacy that. Okay, who specifically are you talking about? And for two, when you call somebody a white supremacist, you're saying that they have a superiority over you. Am I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Excellence in your field of study is essential, but we know it's the future-proof skills that will set you apart.
So for more on all this, let's bring in Jonathan Greenblatt. He's the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League. Jonathan, thank you for being here. Help us understand this debate, right? Because I'm old enough to remember the old ACLU point, which was, all speech has to be protected everywhere in the United States. That's the First Amendment. So even, hateful Nazis should be allowed to walk up and down the street saying hateful Nazi things. And the ACLU, the liberal organization, would fight to protect that. Is that picture, is that view of what freedom of speech is changing in your view?
Well, look, a few things, Eamon. So first of all, if you think about these university presidents, I would grade them all an F on their performance today because they failed to show the basic moral courage that we expect from a third grader. Now, what do I mean by that? Freedom of speech is something we deeply believe in at ADL. We were founded to fight in part for the First Amendment, but freedom of speech, Eamon, isn't the freedom to slander people. And the freedom of expression is not the freedom to incite violence. That's not protected speech. And when people walk through the campus wearing masks, calling for genocide against their Jewish classmates, at a minimum, that should violate every sensible code of conduct known to man. And even more so, for these universities have an obligation to protect our children. They need to finally, Eamon, start doing their job. We saw none of that kind of leadership today on the Hill.
So what do you want to see? What's the best outcome here in your view?
Well, number one, these universities should kick the groups off campus, expel the students who would threaten to kill their classmates. Groups like Students for Justice for Palestine that, again, call for intifada, call for violence against their classmates. Number one, get rid of them. And number two, I'm not going to wait for these presidents to find their moral responsibility. Eamon, we're going to look at the fiduciary responsibility of the trustees. So ADL has launched an effort to bring Title VI cases against these institutions for failing to protect their students. And look, that could jeopardize hundreds of millions of dollars of federal funding. So again, the president, they may dither and equivocate, but the members of the audit committee, they know they have to mitigate risk. That's why we're going after them. We'll let them know that their federal funding could be in jeopardy if they don't get on the ball.
So let me put you in the dean's seat or the president's seat at one of these universities, if you were the president of a university tonight and there's going to be a pro-Palestinian protest at the university tomorrow, what in your view is the line which those protesters cannot cross?
Here's the line they cannot cross. When you say from the river to the sea, again, that is
why
a
is that?
call, because that is a call to genocide. From the river to the sea, Eamon, in 2023 is like saying Germany for Germans in 1933. Okay, it is a call to say, again, this is what Hamas says in their own words. Their goal is to murder Jews. We saw that on October 7th. We've seen that through their history of committing terror acts. So when students say from the river to the sea, they should say no. Just like you can't say you want to kill all the LGBTQ kids, just like you should never be able to say, I want to do something harmful to other minorities. You shouldn't say it against your Jewish classmates. By the way, Eamon, keep in mind that we've seen a record rise in anti-Semitic incidents in the United States. We've seen a 300% increase in the last 50 days since the massacre. So I'm not saying this is an issue in the abstract, Eamon. I'm saying right here, right now, Jewish people are facing harassment, vandalism, and violence, and these universities should be free from that behavior.
Hi, Mark Barnett, Sandy Hook Promise here. When the gunman shot his way in.
The presidents of Harvard.
Okay. Frank, what do you think about that, man?
I mean, freedom of speech is something, it's controversial in a way, I mean, we have to have the freedom of speech, the First and Second Amendment, you know what I mean? Even though they were basically wiping their butt with it. But at the same time, this dude is always fronting on this, hate speech. And I mean, what I would really want to know, what percentage of people really, what I'm saying? What's the real stats, if they even taking any, who's counting, right? Of people really doing something and tripping off these creed people. I really want to know the real, you know what I'm saying? Because all these estimated numbers are just trumped up. That's just like them saying the amount of mass shootings that we had this year. Oh, we got 300 something. We had more mass shootings in more days in this year. Oh, what a coincidence that y'all just saying that stupid shit, right? Of course you're going to hype it up like that. You see what I'm saying? To keep the narrative going. But, my thing is, they are getting false information from social media because guess what? These are psyops. Let's just keep it 100. My bad, man. But
no, you're right. I want to show you somebody. See, we always think these people that own these teams, these record labels. Meek Mill, don't you? Heard Meek Mill, the rapper. Meek Mill. But Robert Kraft is the owner of New England Patriots. So why is he on one of these channels having a conversation about anti-Semitism when the New England Patriots only won 4 games this year? And Robert Kraft was influential with Meek Mill. You got to understand the games they play. Let me play Robert Kraft for a minute. This is the owner of a New England Patriots football team. Why are you talking about anti-Semitism on a big platform? See this?
UPenn and MIT testifying on Capitol Hill yesterday, defending their on-campus policies combating hate. Harvard's president was asked about pro-Palestinian demonstrators calling for intifada on her campus.
Can you not say here that it is against the code of conduct at Harvard?
We embrace a commitment to free expression, even of views that are objectionable, offensive, hateful. It's when that speech crosses into conduct that violates our policies.
Joining us on set to talk about the rise in anti-Semitism on campus and across the country is Robert Kraft. He is the chairman and the CEO of the Kraft Group and the founder of the Foundation to Combat Anti-Semitism. Also, Josh Rales, who is the president of the Norman and Ruth Rales Foundation. They are working together to try and get at this issue of what's happening on campus. And gentlemen, what?
Now, Frank, you see that? You see that, Frank? Did they not tell you that they told you he was on anti-Semitism? They not letting you know who the chairman of the daggone New England Patriots. He's the owner of the damn Patriots, man.
Right.
Why didn't they tell you that?
Why did they tell you that?
This the whole football team. He close with Tom Brady.
Because you would put two and two together and think, damn, you know what I'm saying? Why is this business owner first, right? Basically, football owner or team owner, pushing this narrative, going with this narrative.
Exactly. He would
Y'all trying to make
crab
it
cheese, man. You heard of crab before? Crab? Come on, man.
Damn. That was the dude that got caught up in that brothel scandal. Nothing. He never got arrested. By the way, nothing ever happened.
Yeah, that's him.
Keep going.
Did you hear Meek Mill talk about it?
I think wasn't he? Yeah, he was down. That's right. Meek Mills was hanging out with him. Sure, that show was. What does that tell you? What is Meek Mills hanging out with this guy for?
That's his boy, man. Come on, man. You know they love Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft with that social justice initiative in the NFL and all that other nonsense.
Damn, Dawson was. Damn, that's true. I know they got the call. They literally got the call. Yeah, you got to make her resign. Yes, you know what? You got something has to give. Do what you got to do. Okay. Bleak. All right. I'm sorry, Miss Gay, but you have to resign, or we either gonna fire you or you're gonna resign. Which one is it? And guess what? If we fire you, you're not gonna get your pension. So what you gonna do?
Look at this. Hold on. Let's play this.
What we just heard is pretty shocking. There have been many other comments that came out of yesterday, but the idea that it's not violating anyone's speech until it actually causes someone to act on it, meaning till someone's killed, till someone's hurt pretty drastically. What do you make of this, Robert?
Well, leadership is doing the right thing. And you can have lawyers around you and people advising you what to say, but people want to know that they got people leading them who want to do the right thing. I'll say this respectfully. I think the people leading the universities are really not trained to be operating people of a major institution. So they have to learn on the job and they get staff around them. But when you have to make a payroll and you have to make decisions and you're in life, you do the right thing. This obviously was not something any of us were proud of, the way these answers came.
Josh, what did you think of it? And where do things stand on universities right now? Do Jewish students feel safe?
Well, there's a time for moral clarity. And I think, unfortunately, the university presidents failed the test. When you ask somebody if their policies oppose calls for genocide of the Jewish people, and they say it requires context to answer it, there's just something wrong. Jewish students should be able to walk on campus with a Star of David or kippah and not feel like they're going to be harassed or intimidated.
What do you think is driving this? And what do you think, when you watch that, what do you think is even driving her own view of this? Meaning, do you say to yourself, okay, there is genuine anti-Semitism taking place, not just among some of the students that are protesting, but among the leadership of these institutions, and that they have a particular view? Do you think it's a view around freedom of speech that's just so broad, which obviously it would be hypocritical in some sense because other elements of the freedom of speech issue isn't so free? What do you think? Where do you think this comes from?
Yeah, it's sad. What we've realized, and we've done a lot of research, and first of all, I think the role of social media in America today is horrible. To see the young people on campuses glorifying the actions of Hamas, which is creating atrocities, cutting children's head off in front of mothers or raping daughters, and whose policies call not just for the eradication of Israel, but for the eradication of all Jewish people in the world and infidels. And you have young college kids standing up and praising that kind of grouping is just off. And we've realized they're getting a lot of false information, and it's coming from social media.
But that's the young people. I'm asking about the leadership of these institutions. Where do you think that this idea that some of this kind of speech is acceptable to them comes from?
I think they're in a bit of a bubble, and they've lost sight of our shared humanity in this country. I think most Americans don't feel this way. This is what's beautiful about Robert's campaign, is his ads, his message, the blue square, a symbol of unity, of, you know, fighting against Jewish hate and hate in general is really important.
We're just neglected. The progressive left has lost their minds. I mean, if you can, as a professor, be fired for misgendering someone, and you'll defend your right to say from the river to the sea, you have lost your mind. And that's where a lot of this is coming from. It's seen as a oppressor versus oppressed, which plays into the entire woke zeitgeist that we've just allowed to take over college campuses for the past 5 years.
You're right.
I mean, why not talk about it? That's what it is. And where do you see the craziest comments coming from Tlaib and some of the progressive squad? She is the head, the congresswoman that made those comments a couple of days ago, is the head of the progressive caucus.
Well,
I mean, you don't want to politicize things. How can you not politicize things when anti-Semitism almost seems to be a basic tenet of the woke progressive left today?
Well, you have faculty who have tenure, who are leading some of this effort, and there's no accountability. I think the whole idea of tenure, there's got to be some responsibility with that too, and that has to be looked into. But it's so sad what's going on. This is the greatest country in the world.
The idea of having one stream of income just didn't sit well with me.
Well, that's the way the ball bounces, brother.
Then they got see they got him. See when they have influence. Well, some people, like you said, didn't know who he was. But people that know, you know what I'm saying? He was like me and you. You know.
Well, no, people know who he is. They know he's the owner of the New England Patriots. They ain't know daggone what other stuff he behind.
True. Well, look what he is behind, and that lets you know what he's pushing, the agenda he's pushing, and the money. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, you got to follow the dough because he's a billionaire. So, you know, they keep saying, see, this is crazy because they got this black woman out there. You know, they put her out there like that on purpose, the forefront, put her out there. You see what I'm saying? What does that tell you? That says a lot. They put her, you know, they always got to give us the humiliation rituals or make us look a certain kind of way in the public, right? So look, so the thing is, you know, they keep talking about this, oh, she shouldn't have condemned, she did this and that, oh, that's how she, nah, if that's the policy, she going by the policy. Why? It don't got nothing to do with her. So what is she going to do? Make up her own rules as she go? See, we don't think, and these people don't think. And so you got these journalists and stuff like that. They know stuff like what I'm saying. They know there's policies. They know this procedure. But yet they, like the lady, whoever that was arguing on the Senate or whatever that, or whoever that was, you know what I'm saying, Congress, whatever that lady was, come on, common sense. You make all this damn money a year, and you know, a lot of y'all millionaires. How'd y'all get to be millionaires? Because y'all taking kickbacks. Same with this. You know the procedure, man. You know what I'm saying? Procedure. The procedure is, those are probably the rules in the damn college criteria. That's it, point blank. Respect it. But you want to call her out, thinking it's her, thinking she has a personal thing or a personal gain in it, right? When it's the when it's the criteria, you know what I'm saying? That's just the policy. What you think? You see how nobody's talking about the policy or question or even asking, hey, what is the school policy? Is that really the policy? You see what I'm saying? They don't care. They want people to be in their feelings. See, like they have us in their feelings all the time. They want these people to be in their feelings. But you know what? You don't have to necessarily be in your feelings too much because she resigned. You feel me? You see what I'm saying?
Let me pull this up for you before I go.
The landscape of fitness was bleak. Toxic instructors, shady scammers. and Bispo Bakes. Mother Fitness was angry. Megan Thee Stallion. Hello, my hot girl. Enough of this toxic nastiness. So she took her hotties to the judgment-free zone. Welcome to Planet Fitness, where everybody can work out in their own way.
Listen to Mother Fitness and join today. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
Where are my legs?
Planet has aired its new and funny commercial featuring Megan Thee Stallion. Everybody can work out in their own way. Listen to Mother Fitness and join Planet Fitness, big fitness energy. Planet Fitness, the big fitness energy sale. Mother Fitness. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, hit the like.
That's a crazy ass commercial, ain't it, Frank?
What is that trying to say? Like, what is that?
Well, she's levitating, but I'm gonna tell you something. She also got, I think she might be doing something with the Super Bowl, and I think might be a commercial for the Super Bowl. But I know she got a commercial going on with for the Paris Olympic Games. You know they're gonna have the Olympic Games in Paris this year.
Yep. Money. This is all about money, man. Advertisement, you know.
Megan Thee Stallion.
I'm surprised they didn't have Carly B. I'm surprised they didn't have unsexy red, but then at the same time, she
got a baby bump right now, you know.
There's somebody really got her pregnant. That's crazy.
Megan the Mayor, because a stallion is a male horse. You know that, right?
Damn, dude. Interesting.
Now,
interesting.
This is more so for last right here, man. Let's pull this up. Oh, that's not it. No. Pull it up right quick. Let's see. I'm trying to pull up. All right. Let's see who performing at the halftime show here. Since I know a friend Dawson in the chat, they're gonna let's just pull this up for Houston, Texas next week. All right, let's see. Okay, so they got a concert. Now, wait a minute now. I can't remember. Oh, shit. They got a lot of restaurants slated performing this thing. I can't find the halftime show. I'm trying to find who performing in this thing. He's doing national anthem. Yeah. But nevertheless, Frank, yeah, go ahead, shout out the information, brother.
Man, good looking at us. We got on this bad boy again, man. So we just gotta stay vigilant, stay, you know what I mean, wise, man. So Yeah, get back at me, man. Yeah, get at me at XX Frank Nitty XX on Instagram and XX Frank Nitty XX on YouTube, as well as Frank Jones 8115, man. Tap in with me, man, and holla at me, man. Follow me if y'all ain't following me, man. Subscribe, like, check out the video, and once again, man, good looking out for having me back on this bad boy, man. Another year, you know what I'm saying? New money, new 20. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Dawson just sent me something. What's this? Yeah. It was. I meant to mention that earlier too, Frank. There was some talk about some explosion in New York City. I forgot to mention it earlier. Shit. Starting 2024 with a bang, brother.
See, we talking about some explosions. Okay, well, it's just a lot of this stuff just be too. It just be kind of like, come on. They give you a little, they don't give you no detail or nothing. They'll just tell you something happened, and I think that's to keep you in your fear, in some kind of motion. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's fear or anger, or
Yeah, you gotta keep you scared, bro. Have to keep you scared, brother. But it is what it is. I'm not upset about it. I just laugh at it like, hey man, the Clown Chronicles continue. Either you go in the circus or you're not part of the circus. You could be a spectator. I'm just a spectator. Besides, they count some Bonham and Bill anyway due to cruelty to the animals, or something they say. So, it is what it is. But we gotta be vigilant. We gotta understand this could be the year of all years. A lot of stuff can pop off. You're talking about a tsunami happening in Japan. There was an earthquake in California, and so forth and the like. So, matter of fact, sound like looking at the Super Bowl participants, we Baltimore and San Francisco probably. So that's that good old thing, baby. East Coast, West Coast. Biggest Smalls and Tupac.
Oh, Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? That's real. That's real.
But nevertheless, brother, take your time. Dad gonna relax. Enjoy the show. So yeah, I just, like I said, you can give me at kingbjmedia.com, 1987BJ1 Twitter. You want to donate $1919 BJ Cash App. You got Bernard Johnson Facebook, Bernard 1120 Instagram. Actually, 1987 BJ Instagram too. I just made that one because I had to make another page because they do like they're very censorship like around these parts today. Actually, old buddy Barack Obama, Barry Satora, told you that disinformation is getting out of hand and people don't trust their leaders anymore. He said that at Stanford University. Disinformation is killing people, Frank. Would you killing people too?
Exactly, man.
As a matter of fact, so shout out to all those we lost in 2023, including Henry Kissinger, who I'm very proud to say he kicked the bucket. I said it. Good for him. Good riddance. Daggone. Only one thing I wish I could have been one digging the grave to make sure he in it. Because by anything I know, that daggone bastard probably been dead. But that's just the way it goes. But whatever. Daggone. Take your time. Relax. And I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, peace out. Peace out, man. So,
yes, sir. Take your time. Yes, sir.